I'm going to have to do some fiberglassing.
Yes, you are, on the smaller bits.
I have no idea how to do that at all. Right. Those kind of special techniques. Do you teach me how to do that?
Well, you're not alone. We give a very good description in the manual for a start, but even better than that, we run weekend workshops, and you can come along and have a go.
Oh, brilliant.
First hand.
So what's upstairs?
Well, more of the same.
More of the same.
More
interesting
more
stuff.
More interesting stuff. Follow me.
It's going to be like Christmas when all this arrives, isn't it?
It is. It's better than Christmas, I think.
So, more preformed bits?
Indeed. Yeah, there's, you can probably make out. That's an instrument module.
Yeah, to me, that's a dash.
Dash, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It does the same thing. In fact, rather than just a flat panel over the front of the aeroplane, like a lot of the older airplanes have, we've tried to put a bit of shape in it, make it more like your car, something you're used to.
So another big bit over here.
Indeed. I think it's pretty obvious to see what this is. This is the upper fuselage.
Right.
There's three of them stacked together, in fact, here.
And then the doors come as separate.
The door's separate. Here's one here, actually.
It's on there.
Show you the door moulding. Now, these are almost finished trims, so you don't have to do a lot. I think you'll see that fits pretty well straight out the mould.
Isn't it going to be a bit drafty?
Until you put the glass in.
And is it normal glass, or do you supply the whole?
We supply the glass. It's a plexiglass which is moulded to shape,
right.
So it fits in nice and perfectly.
So, this is again fiberglass. This is incredibly light. I mean, I can support that on one finger, the whole of the top of this aeroplane.
Well, that's the important thing with aeroplanes. If it's heavy, you'll never go off the ground. Well, let me show you an aeroplane which is in a state of undress. This is our tri-gear. It's been flying for a number of years now, and we've been doing some maintenance work on it, basically. I mean, it might look complicated, some of the things, some of the details, but if you take every step one at a time, then and try not to look at the big picture, then things are a lot easier.
Yeah, so you just take it bit by bit as you go through.
Indeed.
Tell you what, I really hate electrics.
Well, maybe I shouldn't show you this then, have I?
That's all right. I can build a dash. That can't be that difficult.
Well, yeah, it looks quite neat on that side, but I think I ought to show you that.
Oh my word. So presumably you supply a fully fixed up wiring loom that I can just plug in?
We don't actually. There are so many variations on instrument fits. Everybody's got their own ideas. So I'm afraid that's a little job for you.
Is it? Something to look forward to, but then it's obviously very simple here because the white wire connects to the white wire, to the white wire, to the white wire. Very simple. Later. So what goes on in here?
Well, this is where we do all the composite work. We talked about composite before.
Right. And I have to tell you, I still haven't quite got my head round composite.
Right. Well, composite, in this case, is glass fibre with resin laid onto a foam surface in this case. I've got a lump of foam. It's just an offcut from another component in fact.
So that was like the blue stuff that I saw in the
That's
stores,
right, exactly that. Glass fibre. This is a woven cloth, in fact. You can see how flexible and floppy it is. This would, in principle, get laid over the particular component you're going to make. And then resin would be applied to this, and after maybe 6 or 7 hours it would go hard and become a very strong component.
Right. Do you make suits?
We can
the way you did it, I
like
that. Lovely bit of cloth, that. Suits yourself, very nice. Lovely bit of cloth. Just have one of those. 3-piece suite, very nice. So how do you cut the shapes?
It's cut with a hot wire. 2 ways we do it. We've got this machine which is all computer controlled, and we still cut the larger bits by hand.
So how does this machine work then?
Very simply, we program in the shape, which I've already done, of course, and press the go button, basically, and then the hot wire will start following its...
Oh, right here.
Of course, there it is. The machine was, in fact, developed for model aircraft, believe it or not, and we've just employed it for our use.
So how does this work, and why is that not done by computer?
Basically, it's just too big for the machine.
So the fact that this is a wedge-shaped piece, so it's narrow at one end than the other, how do you do precise cuts?
If you look on the end of the templates, you'll notice there are some numbers. So Anna's calling out the numbers as she goes along, and these numbers are represented on both ends on the other template.
Right.
And they represent percentage of the chord. So the distance is shorter at the small end than the big end. So they must stay in synchronisation, otherwise you get peculiar shapes coming out.
That's amazing, isn't it?
4, 2, and up.
Now, of course, if you're going to build an aeroplane, there's no point in building it unless you're going to fly it. And that's something that I need to learn to do. So I'm having lessons at Gloucester Airport with an instructor called Carl, and my first lesson is coming up. How you doing, my friend?
Fine.
Good to see you. Now, can I just start straight away? Because I'm quite good at driving a car. So
okay, there's the keys.
thanks very much. Is that one?
only
You are
joking.
joking? Yeah,
Yeah, I am
good.
actually
I'm
joking,
glad
yeah.
about that. Very nervous when you suddenly give me the keys to the plane. There's a lot ahead of me before I can get up in the air, isn't there?
Yeah, sadly it's not quite as simple as that. So we estimate you've got about 45 hours dual training in the air. You've got about 120 hours ground school to complete and 6 civil aviation examinations. And at the end of that, you need to do a general flight test, and then we'll give you a private pilot's license.
6 examinations. I haven't done an examination for 13 years.
Oh, well, we've got to get started now then, so let's get in that classroom.
You know, one of the things that I loved about first day at school was getting your new textbooks. Well, I've already got mine. Well, one textbook here, very important. This is the Private Pilot's License course, absolutely necessary. But most important, and the bit I like, is your pilot's logbook, because that means pilot. It belongs to me, this book. I'm a pilot. It's got nothing in it yet, but hopefully by the time we've finished, we'll be filling this up.
We're going to start with exercise 4.1, which is effective controls. And the aim of the exercise is to learn...
Can I just stop you there and say, why is it exercise 4.1? Have I missed 2 and 3 somewhere along the line?
No, it's okay. Very fair question. What we actually do here is the exercises 1 to 3 are actually covered each time you fly, so we don't actually make a specific exercise out of them, for instance, taxiing. The main 3 controls on the aircraft are the elevator here at the back, and that's controlled by the forward and aft movement of the control column like so. The effect of that is now it's moving the control column to the back, like so. Aerodynamic pressure will now strike this elevator, causing an aerodynamic force downwards, and that will rotate the aircraft around its lateral axes and cause the nose to rise. Obviously, the opposite is the case, so if you move the control column forward, elevator now moves that way, air now strikes that, causing an aerodynamic force upwards. Once again, the aircraft rotating around its lateral axes, running wingtip to wingtip, and we see the nose come down. This motion is called, importantly, pitch. Looking good. First take off, Captain.
I can't believe it.
I cannot believe it. What a feeling.
If we move the control column backwards, looking over the nose comes up. Move the control column forward, nose goes down. So we're moving the aircraft around the lateral axis, running wingtip to wingtip in pitch. So you have control, and I just want you to show me the aircraft pitching up.
Okay.
There it goes, nose coming up, and pitching down. Very nice.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I need to be pinched.
The aileron now is the next control surface we're going to look at, and there, like you see, as the control column moves left, this one comes up, that one goes down. Move it to the right, this one comes up, that one goes down. And the effect of that is for the airflow now to, for instance, moving that to the right, control column right, air now will strike this aileron, which is protruding down, and cause an aerodynamic force upwards on that swing. And the opposite is happening here, aileron is moving up, airflow now strikes that, causing aerodynamic force downwards on this swing. This aircraft will then rotate around its longitudinal axes, like so. Right, so just to review that, the nose swings, and we call that roll. A quick look around, make sure there's no traffic around, because we're going to use the ailerons. So looking over the nose once again, I'm going to apply right hand down on the control column. So right hand down, nose swings. Left hand down, nose swings that way. Okay, so we're rotating the aircraft around the longitudinal axes.
Yep.
Okay, you have control. I'll keep control of the rudder.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is show me initially a roll to the left using the aileron. Good. Then a roll to the right using the aileron. Very nice. And back to level flight. Good. Now the rudder, this is the control surface here that we're talking about. So now we're pushing the left rudder. Yes, the nose wheel still comes out, but it has no effect in the air. So what we're actually doing now is moving this control surface out like so. Air now will strike this, causing an aerodynamic force this way. This will weathercock the aircraft around its vertical or normal axis, the one running like so. And what we'll see is that actually we'll be thrown out either side as we operate the rudder. I'll keep control of the control column, and if you go to the right first.
Okay, to the right.
Out to the left. Good. So what we're doing there is rotating the aircraft around its vertical or normal axes.
Yep.
Just going to fly the aircraft and the approach. Looking at the numbers, keeping the numbers about a third of the way up the windscreen. What we're going to end up at.
gently raise the nose. Raise the nose as it sinks, raise the nose.
That was incredible. Boy, is that good.
Good. You did very well. Excellent.
Brilliant.
Welcome back. It's the big moment. Behind these doors is the baby we're going to take for a test flight. Do you want to see it? Just in here. Andy, come on, let's open these doors. Have a look at this. He's like a fighter pilot. Oh, I like this. Great. Very good. Oh, I love that. I've only had like one lesson flying, but it's just so fantastic getting off the ground in my aeroplane.
There's a turbocharged engine in here, so we can keep that going for 5 minutes. But I'll be kind short. I'll just bring it back out of turbo.
So do you only use the turbo then for when you're doing power stuff like taking off, climbing?
Yeah, you don't actually need the turbo to take off. We've got the aeroplanes we use it right. Get off the ground quicker.
One of the other things that's very different about the PA-28 that I've had my lesson and I'll be learning in is you just feel you've got much more visibility and you're much more a part of the sky rather than being within an enclosed space.
Why don't you have control and just get a feel for the aeroplane twice a turn?
God, that is amazing. I'm hardly touching.
It's quite light. The aeroplane's a lot lighter than the PA-28. And we get the control forces within the normal parameters, but slightly lighter. The aeroplane
That is beautiful. That is amazing. I'm literally only moving the stick like this much and just...
pretty lively roll.
That's amazing. So because of this, you really got to fall out.
You do.
It's incredible.
But it's lively if you want to.
That's amazing. Very much indeed. Well, I don't know, when I went to the air show, there's a lot of planes to think about here, because, it's a lot of money, I don't want to dive into making the wrong decision, but, at the end of the day, that was absolutely fantastic, and I am going to ring my bank manager! One large brown box, 2 small rectangular boxes. Hiya! Now, was that a plane or what? You want one, don't you? As much as I do. But your aviation dream has to come down to earth with a large bump, because there's a sudden realisation when you order your kit plane that it comes in bits. And you, that's me in my case, have got to build it. All this lot has got to go into my lovely workshop. Come inside with me. Pete, mate, can you help me with the boxes? Yep. In here, there's loads of them, mate. I hope you fit.
Yeah, sure.
There we go, last one. Now, you'll have spotted that you do need quite a big workshop to build an aeroplane in, because you need to be able to do it in